CoS allocations, delays, additional information, etc. This is what I'm going to discuss, as well as some aspects of the new right to work changes that will come into place from 1st of October 2026 for gig economy workers. Initially, to begin with, as I will always talk about the priority service that we have started, we obtain priority service slots on your behalf, which is almost impossible for most of them, almost 99% of employers to obtain themselves. So today also we got two priority slots. I will put the screenshot on the screen. One came at 9:23 a.m. Now I'll share the screenshot. You can watch that, observe that screenshot, do any investigations you wish to, that it is real and all. And in the meanwhile, I will discuss these points. So about CoS allocations, it is commonly observed that whether you apply for annual allocations increase or in-year increase, doesn't matter. Home Office has been started doing this remote audits. They usually request documents such as your payroll run records for the last 6 months, bank statements for the last 6 months, and some other documents. Why do you need the role? So we also have a page on our website which details all the information that they ask. Hence, I always recommend before filing the CoS application, uh, be prepared with all this. Almost highly likely 90% of employees are getting this. Whether you are applying the employee for the first time or an extension, anything doesn't matter. So this is what they are doing for most employers. This is what is happening. I think it's an automated email that just comes, provide us this, and I'll just discuss some of them information here. They need full explanation of the evidence. This is on our website, so I'll put the link in the description. Full explanation and evidence that the company requires the current level of recruitment. Whatever you ask for, 1 CoS, 2 CoS, 10 CoSs, yeah, make sure have a justification for that. Full description of your nature of business. These details are mainly the employer has also provided at the point they got the sponsor license. So remember that they are just doing a repetition of that and doing that check again. So nature of business, hours of operation, detailed description of the SOC code. Usually this has been observed, Home Office is not giving mostly causes where the worker has not been identified, because they are looking for evidence. Either they've already worked, they ask for, you need to provide pay slips, etc. If they've not worked, then their current immigration status, how you found them, etc., etc. So there is a lot of detail, a detailed description of the post that you intend to assign, the job code, the salary that you will be paying, because many times employers don't know, they are still trying to write the older salaries which was before the transitional provisions, and they no more apply. It is very common with extensions. I've spoken to many employers during consultations where they say CoS was refused because we asked for this salary and that salary was on the basis of the old rules. Salaries have proportionately and as per the cost of living increase and all, inflation and all, also they have gone up. Even if transitional provisions apply, there is some base minimum like 31,300, also new entrant 33,400. There are many numbers that have, almost all the numbers have gone up. Earlier it was 25,600, now it is 31,300, etc., etc. So I won't go into that much detail. I've discussed on other videos on those aspects. So whatever those changes are, the salaries, everything, that's why they are asking this, because many employers are not even aware of this. They just put those old salaries and they get a refusal for the cost. So if you're not sure, speak to an immigration lawyer. You can book a consultation with me and I can also advise on that. So SOC, job title, uh, job description, salary that you're paying, especially address of work, experience, etc. required. If the person is already working, then their current CoS reference number, their visa expiry date, etc., etc. So there is the hierarchy chart. These are documents. They also get it at the point of sponsor license application. They are redoing that. They are rechecking that again at this point, looks like. And the migrants details, if you already identified them, their name, date of birth, etc., etc. So yes, I'll link this in the description. So now I will put the second approval that we got for the priority slot that came at 9:50 a.m. today. You can see the time, 9:50 a.m. and today's date, 22nd of July. I'll keep that screenshot. You can investigate, look at it, and yeah, so I just want to give evidence that yes, we can get the priority slots for almost 90% of employers. We are getting it within 24 hours, some of them usually within 48 hours, worst case scenario 72 hours. The important thing is, many employers, they are asking us to apply on their behalf for the slot, but they are giving incorrect information. Sometimes their address has changed, they have not updated, or they've already done an reporting, let's say for name change, address change, that is still in the queue, and they are trying to do this one. Every time, remember that if you have any previous request pending, for example, name of the company changed, address of the company changed, or ownership changed, or some restructuring happened, whatever that happened. So all those things need to be reported, effected, and only after that you can apply for allocations, whether in year or annual. When home office finds out something has changed, they are even going to reject that allocation. So it is completely useless to apply an allocation where some change that was done in the past has not been effected on the sponsor license, which means reported and home office has changed on the system. Very, very important. So that is a common thing that I've seen many times. Other problems that we've seen is every year there is a license start date on the license summary page. You can log in, anyone who is a level 1 user can log in and check. There is a license start date. On that date, all the courses that are there which are not assigned to a migrant, only allocated and sitting, they will delete from the system. They go back to zero. That's very, very important. Many times that is a problem. Also, if a request has been made before that date, and that, let's say, take me an example. So today, on 1st of your license date says 1st of July 2026. A request was made on 1st of May, let's say this year 2026. That request was sitting till 1st of July, and it has been observed that on 1st of July, when the license reset date comes in, that request gets deleted from. Many, almost 90% employees don't know this aspect, because when they try to apply for the slot, we requested, and then that is rejected. When they go and see, that request is not there in the system. Today also somebody confirmed, they send it, and when they checked it again, we told them something is wrong, check. And when they checked in, that request was not there. They made a new request today, and we are requesting for a priority slot. So yes, we have almost 100% chance of getting a priority slot, provided you give us the correct information. When you give on the form, I'll put the link in the description. Click on that, you can fill up the form. You can give us the screenshots of those pages also. From that also we can make up what we have done and fill up the form accordingly. So that's it, and that was on the screenshot. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about additional info? The second was information sharing that I wanted to do. From 1st of October, the right to work changes. There is a lot of stuff changing on the right to work requirements. All the gig economy workers, which was a big uh, news, I think last 1 or 2 years now, delivery drivers, etc., etc., where people who were not authorized to work were working and all. So that is being strengthened, and from 1st October that is going to change. So online matching services, for example, maybe bark.com, and there are many of them. I just remember one or two on top of my head. I think those platforms may also be required if you run an app or a website. I have some information here that matches service providers like drivers, cleaners. Yeah, last week we called a gardener. I think my wife used the bark.com or something. So something like that, even bark.com or some websites. I'm not just pointing out to bark, but I think similar services, online matching services, where you ask for a gardener, or even we got somebody on some other website that was an online matching service for carpet cleaning services. Somebody came about 2 weeks ago. So people like those, if there is an online matching platform, obviously they get some commission whenever they get that, give that gig to that individual. So they may be required to do right to work checks. Online matching services, example, drivers, cleaners, freelance creatives, they take a fee from the client, and they will be required. Gig or platform workers, you casual, temporary, 0 hours work, for example, delivery drivers, those are the best example over here. So yes, for them also right to work checks will have to be done. The person who does the work, right to work should be done. So for example, if I am the person who is the delivery driver, and I am, a right to work has been checked by whichever the company is, Deliveroo, Uber, etc., they've done the right to work check on me. But if I'm not the person who is delivering, my friend or brother or whoever is delivering, then that person's right to work check should also be done by that particular organization. It's going to be quite strict. Not sure how it will be really enforced. There will be challenges, there will be ups and downs, there will be many challenges that will be going. Many employers will get these penalty notices. First penalty is 45,000, increasing up to 60,000, and then that's how case laws will come into play, it looks like. But then yes, they are trying to take everyone into purview. Also, they are trying to exclude everyday they don't want to create an everyday mess. For example, I go and sit in an Uber, and they don't expect me to do a right to work check to sit and take a ride share right now. So they are also trying to keep that out of the purview. So it's a very tricky balance that they need to do, but they are trying to get as many people as possible in the scope. And very important thing is, this is something that I wanted to explain. So anyone in the chain of events, so employer, subcontractor, contractor, whatever happens, say building jobs, they will try to go up the chain and try to catch whoever is responsible. So they will try to catch the first level, let's say subcontractor, then they will also try to catch the contractor, then the main entity which got the service. So that's how the chain will be, and you will see a lot of right to work checks requests even for subcontractors, many freelancers. Everyone will be required to do all these things. So that's something I wanted to share. It's coming from 1st of October, and if you are the employer, if you are employing such people, start doing those checks now. Get a hang of how to right to work check works. Try to get a record of things from now onwards. It will be much better. And if companies are being bought out, sold, you are taking over some existing businesses, make sure you do the right to work checks, especially on these types of workers who will be working in one way or the other, yeah, directly or indirectly. So that's it, and this is what I wanted to cover. So if you need priority slots, links will be there in the description. Fill up the form, we'll get it. Our service fee is £299. It is a no win no fee. If we don't get the slot, you don't pay us. When we get, we send you the invoice, you pay, then we send you the home office payment link to make the home office service fee payment of £350. So remember, you'll be hit with our fees of 299 and the home office fees, but it will save you considerable amount of stress and costs as well, where people are filing further leave to remain applications. Cost about £4,000 per person. Even if you file any other application, they will cost you something, lawyers costs, etc., etc. With this one, uh, since we have launched this about, I think, more than a month now, many employers have replied to me saying yes. Many applicants also, they've replied saying thank you very much, we got the cost and I was able to secure my extension, etc., etc., and that is something quite interesting. So we have saved considerable amount of stress, costs, etc., to employers. I was speaking to another employer today also, some uh, medical firm, physiotherapist was the, I remember, yeah, I don't remember the exact names, but yes, I know the job codes and all, how they are working around, and they said thank you very much, they were able to retain their staff. Last week also somebody wrote to us, because we were able to get the slot immediately. They were able to answer the slot, the cost queries, and get the allocation in time, and the individual got the visa. So yes, this will help with a lot, solving a lot of problems with these little costs initially. And thank you very much for watching. If you need consultation, links will be there for the consultation. I will also put the link for the additional information that home office asks in the description. Thank you very much.